And I guarantee you this fourth nominee definitely worth the wait before the dinner. So it is my great honor to welcome Susanne Ruoff. Welcome, Susanne. So a short introduction about Susanne. So Susanne is a very accomplished CEO and member of various boards with very strong track record in all business KPIs and especially in driving results with business transformation and digitalization. She actually has been CEO of Swiss Post, Vice President of IBM Global Technology Services Switzerland, CEO of British Telecom, and member of many boards like Geberit SA, Beck SA, and Extra. Most importantly, and also what I found very connected to, is Susanne told me in her professional life, she has been coaching, she has coached, motivated, and empower women during her whole career in leadership positions with a P&L. And she wanted and did as well to increase the number of women in such P&L positions significantly. Welcome, Susanne, please. I must say, the first time when I actually read Susanne's profile, I was like everybody else, a wow effect of a typical role model for female leaders. And I'm very honored to sit here together with you. And I have personally so many question marks for you as a female leader in this world of where, in the industry where you are in, that's mainly dominated by men. That how did you actually play all these roles in these years? So I have many questions, but I think I will save some of them which are very relative to today and to go together with. So first question I have is indeed very much linked to today is your experience of working internationally and domestically for all the big companies are somehow very much the linked of a keyword, digital transformation. I'm very curious why digital transformation, and how does that impacted your career?
So thank you for the flowers, and I see when you get older, you have a lot in the history. But anyway, no, digital transformation is a buzzword, and today it's everywhere. And what does it mean? I tell you a short story. What I had, I was working part-time in IBM. In the 90s, and I always had to go to the working place. And then my boss gave me a mobile phone in the 90s. This was the Natel C. You know, it was quite heavy. And you can imagine, some of the people, they don't like mobiles, but for me, it was freedom. I could work. I was working as a sales manager. I could work from anywhere. I could work. I live in Crans-Montana. I could work in Crans-Montana. I could be in the client area. That was for me the first imagine transformation from something you have to be physical on a place and then you are in virtual. So later and more, this transformation is a human-based and we should see it also in a positive way, but also, as Rania also explained already, there is also a negative way. So how can we put with people a good strategy, for example, really transform to the expected outcome we have in this strategy? And this is only with people. And therefore, I'm very people-centric. And before I start all this transformation, I always choose a good team. A team who is diverse, who had many criticism, who had many ideas, but then it could start the digital transformation, whatever it means then.
Thank you so much. I love the story of the mobile phones and how did you combine that of this day and age. And I found it was very fascinating indeed to hear your experience and the things you have done to drive these kind of transformations, innovations inside a large organization. Then my next question is indeed very much linked to this female leadership role. What was your experience and how did you feel and the journey was like in a very male, traditionally dominated industry?
Yeah, that's also a little bit a story behind. If you are working in an American company, then this diversity is not as big as we discussed today. If you work in Swiss Post and you come as the first woman on a big company and no woman is far away, it's another play. And this is not against men, this is nothing against women or men, but there are stereotypes behind. And for example, I give you an example. Bilance was texted me and say, "You are the woman who asks always question. Are you not sure?" And I was saying, no, that could not be. I'm asking because I'm curious. I want to know what these people want from me and what I give to them. And you see, these are stereotypes, these are unconscious bias, these are things I think that what me touched most. And today, I'm very passionate about this and help organization also to this point, because this is with tradition. I always ask also a man, what is your woman doing? What is your wife doing? What is your partner doing? And you can see a lot of things what happen then. That's important for me today.
Wow. I'm really, I'm so impressed by the stories and also the insights, especially what you are doing now. I found it's extremely impactful, both for female professionals themselves, but also for the balance of a healthier working environment in corporations, both inside of Switzerland and internationally. As we say, it's an ongoing journey, and we need more mentors like Susanne to drive the change.
And I hope it goes a little bit faster.
And then we all have to join force for that. Okay. All right, now let's give the floor to the audience and have a look of what questions they have for you. So, what advice would you give to senior executives that are struggling to balance the need for digital transformation, I guess, with the importance of humanizing the process?
Look at your team. When you start a transformation, look at your team. Who is driving this transformation? Is it the clear vision? Is it the clear goal? Often there is a strategy and we want to go from A to B. But who is driving this? And very important for me, and that was my whole life experience, it needs a senior leader who drives the transformation in a big company. It's different because it needs somebody who had experience with the daily operation, who see the points, who can really drive this. And you need a lot of young people, people from all over different backgrounds to really come to an end. And in the beginning, it goes very slowly because you need to discuss. But suddenly, it comes to a point and it goes straight over to the goal. That's my whole experience always.
Thank you very much, Susanne. Now let's take a look at the second question. What do you think about remote working, individually for a woman and from a corporation perspective?
It depends what is the balance and what is the work. So if you are a salesperson, you have to be with your customers.
Yeah.
If you are a finance person, sometimes you have to be with your accounting team. So it has to be a mix. For me, as I told before with this Nattelzee, it was first really good, but then I realized as well, you have to be connected with your team because culture, information who goes under the table, information is everywhere. Education, training, you have to do also physical. So it needs a good balance. I can't give a general advice because this depends on the different jobs.
I fully agree. With this day and age, even though pandemic changed how we work, there are a lot of hybriding working or more remote. There is even something I read on the internet called the destination working, like people literally move to Bali to work. I do think we need a balance to actually make this society work. And there is some beauty of some traditional professions that go meet people and feel the contact. And of course, we Yeah.
And I think the manager today or the leader has to bring his people much more together.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
not information only, this can be done remotely, but it has to bring the people together, and the inspiration, innovation, and all these things come only when the people and the dynamic in a team is here.
Yeah, absolutely. What we can feel face to face with eye contact and a passion cannot be transferred by either Zoom or Teams.
Difficult.
This is the way it is. All right, so next question. Why do you think women are reluctant to take on P&L roles and often choose HR or marketing, blocking their path to the top job? Very interesting question. What do you think, Susanne?
I'm coaching many women to do this,
Yeah.
and I have. I really think it's not a fear; you just have to do it. And sometimes the women are not so self-confident, not all, but some, and you have to push them a little bit more. But if you want to change something, you need to have a P&L. You need to have a business power.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are always staff and in a back office more. But I think really, business power you can do with is a P&L.
P&L, of course, stands for the hard skills of which normally women are afraid of in a way. And I like this metaphor you put in your mentoring approach, leading women to the P&L.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. First time I heard that, I'm going to adapt that into my leadership coaching as well. Thank you so much.
I think also women take other women in their team.
Yeah.
And this is nothing against men, nothing. But to have a balance, that helps, really that helps.
Absolutely. Everything is about a good balance.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Susanna. And thank you, everyone, for your excellent questions. Thank you.